Hello and welcome back to number 1, the Wrestler's Debate, and to SummerSlam out of 10. It's finally here, the biggest party of the summer, as WWE likes to label it. And yes, SummerSlam, one of the big four, and we got a big show today. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the last time ever. Jake Paul in action, as well as Pat McAfee, celebrity matches, along with brilliant matches on the card. And we kicked off with the Raw Women's Championship match, but the kickoff show saw Theory declare that we were heading into the Theory era, among other shenanigans. But back to the Raw Women's title match. Lynch started off strong and tried to disarm her early on, but Blair managed to get out of it. Big Time Bex then focused on the champ's arm and came back with some drop kicks and took her down with a slam. Bianca picked Lynch up in the KOD position outside the ring, but the latter got out of it and dropped her on the barricade. The challenger then managed to send Blair outside, but was dropped on the apron before the champion sent her into the ring post. Big Time Bex seemed to have an injured shoulder in the process. Lynch then broke out with a big move and hit the Diamond Dust for a near fall. Belair then managed to hit a KOD outside before the challenger knocked in the ring. The former champion got the manhandle slam in the ring but failed to get the pin. Belair then reversed the big move and hit Spanish Fly before getting the KOD for the W. Belair was celebrating her win when Bayley's music hit and she was back. Bayley made her way to the ring with Dakota Kai and Io Shirai, and they showed up as well. The trio was seemingly in an alliance as they headed for the champ in the ring. Lynch came up as well and stood by Belair and challenged the trio. Team Bayley made a tactical retreat, choosing to settle things some other time. And yeah, this was brilliant. Not only was the match great, gets an 8 out of 10 for me. For me, the right winner as well. Kind of would have been fun to do it in 26 seconds, but I suppose it didn't fit into the match. But yeah, I mean, like the afterwards shenanigans, Bayley is finally back. I'm so happy about that. And Dakota Kai and Io Shirai finally look like going to get a meaningful role on the main roster as well, which is just bloody brilliant. Becky Lynch as a babyface again. Yeah, I think this was just a genius bit of booking, to be honest. 8 out of 10. The Miz versus Logan Paul was up next. The Miz was dominating early on, but Logan came by with a big takedown. Miz dropped Logan from the ropes and hit a code breaker before getting a chin lock in. Logan Paul got a blockbuster in before hitting a running power slam for a near fall. Logan Paul then got the figure 4 leg lock, but the Miz managed to get the rope. Ciampa ran a distraction from the apron and the referee sent him backstage. He instead got a chair and took a seat ringside before AJ Styles' music hit. Styles came in and took a dive from off screen and attacked Ciampa, taking him into the crowd before the match continued. Paul got the phenomenal forearm to take control of the match. Then set up the Miz on the announcer's table and hit a splash on the top rope. Rose tried to interfere, but the YouTube star almost sent Miz into her before getting the skull-crushing finale for the W. And yeah, gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Sets up an AJ Styles versus Miz feud. Logan Paul once again really good, and I think we all saw this result coming. Backstage, Maximum Male Models did a short promo for Pure Life, which is their official brand of water, before he got Bobby Lashley versus Theory. Theory attacked Lashley with his briefcase before the match. After the bell rang and tried to get the drop of the US champ. Lashley reversed vertical suplex before tossing Theory around the ring. Theory tried to walk out of the match, but Lashley chased him down and tossed him into the barricades. Back in the ring, Theory got a big drop kick before the two traded strikes in the middle of the ring. Lashley got the running power slam, but dodged the spear before the Almighty got the hurt lock in. Theory was unable to break out and tapped out, letting Lashley pick up the win. And yeah, gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Decent enough match. Please, Lashley's going to get the win. I think he's going to have a really great US title run. But I mean, Theory, since he's won the briefcase, I think he's gone 0-8 now. So yeah, they kind of really need to build him up a bit more. I think it was kind of like a no-win match for WWE here. Next up was the Judgment Day versus the Mysterios in a no DQ match. The match started before the bell and the Judgment Day got the first 8 downs, but the Mysterios managed to send them outside before both Dominic and Ray hit dives to take them out. Dominic was isolated in the ring, however, and Balor was unleashing on him for a bit before the tags finally made. Ray came in and got some big moves on Priest before knocking Balor off the apron. Balor got some chairs, but Ray used it to beat him down. Ray then missed the 619 before getting a frog splash. Rhea Ripley then interrupted the double 619, dropped Dominic on the apron before Priest got the South of Heaven of Ray. Balor was looking to return for a chair to hit the end of the match, but Edge made his return and hit spears on his former teammates before the Mysterios got the 619 on Balor and picked up the win. And yeah, this match was kind of put in place for Edge's return. I mean, like, I don't know, it gets a 5 out of 10 for me. Edge's return, it was a good moment, of course, but yeah, I was kind of expecting a double turn here from Dominic Mysterio or something like that, and we just didn't get it. So yeah, it kind of just felt a bit underwhelming. And really, was the match, I don't know if it was just built up and up to be on a top 4 show, really. McAfee then took on Baron Corbin. McAfee got a super kick and a big Hurricane Rana early on and sent Corbin outside. Back in the ring, Corbin took control and was tossing Pat across the ring before sending him outside into the barricade. Corbin got the deep 6 for a near fall before going on commentary mic to taunt McAfee and his parents. The commentator went up to the top and hit a swanton bomb to the outside, taking Corbin down. Back in the ring, McAfee counted the end of the day, but the referee went down in the process. McAfee came in with a low blow while the ref was down and got a sunset flip, which was seemingly botched to get the win. After the match, the SmackDown commentator went to ringside and seemingly exchanged some heat heated words with Corey Jones, and then proceeds to high-five Michael Cole. It gets a 7 out of 10 from me. It was good. I don't think it's as good as his Mania appearance, but still good stuff. McAfee's really great, has a great aura about him. So no real issues with it. Drew McIntyre was out next and said that he would become the undisputed WWE Universal title at Clash of the Castle before he moved on to the Usos versus Street Profits. Dawkins and Jimmy started off the match, and the Usos managed to isolate the former early on. Dawkins came back with a big move in the corner and got the tag before Montez Ford came in with a top rope crossbody. Ford then got a sidewalk slam on Jay for a near fall before Lesnar got a neck breaker off the counter. Dawkins was back in with the tag and hit a dive on both Usos on the outside. The Profits then came in a double team in the ring for a near fall before Jimmy dodged a big move and made the tag. The Usos got some double super kicks before getting a near fall splash and followed out with a double splash on Dawkins, but Ford broke up the pin. Ford then got his own splash but failed to get the pin. Ford tried another risky move at ringside but took double super kicks to the face. Back in the ring, Dawkins took the double super kicks as well before the Chance got the 1D for the W. And it gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really good match between two really good teams. And for me, the right result with the Usos retaining, just continuing that long and really great title reign for a bit longer. So no issue for me, 7 out of 10. Was out next and he was angry. He called Seth Rollins out but was not clear to compete after suffering a neck injury earlier in the week. Rollins walked out and Riddle charged him on the ramp as a brawl broke out. The two fought their way to the ring and Riddle and Rollins hit another stamp, possibly injuring the former tag team champion further. A fake injury this. Would have rather they just said that the match wasn't happening, because it kind of does feel like it's exploiting the fans somewhat. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey was out next. Rousey got a takedown merely a second before the bell and took control, but Morgan cancelled out with a big move and tried for a submission. Rousey then transitioned to the armbar before Morgan turned into the rings of Saturn. Morgan is trying for a roll up, but the former USD star caught her in the armbar. Liv barely got her foot on the rope before Rousey dragged her to the centre and locked in again. The referee stopped the match for a second to check on Liv's arm, but she refused to give up. The baddest woman on the planet then got the armbar once more, and the champion tapped out, but at the same time Rousey's shoulders were on the mat, and the referee counted to 3. The official call was Morgan retained the pin, but Rousey was furious and beat the champion down before locking in the armbar on the ref. Officials rescued the ref, and Rousey walked out while Morgan was barely able to lift her arm. And this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought it was a creative and pretty decent way to get around the issue that they had, but neither of these two could really lose. I'm intrigued to see where it goes now, to be honest. So it gets 7 out of 10. This was solid stuff. Roman Reigns then took on Brock Lesnar in the last man standing match for the undisputed title. Roman Reigns got on the mic and asked the crowd to acknowledge him while Lesnar literally drove a massive tractor to the ring and did his own introduction before jumping off the tractor and unloading Roman. Class. The match went outside and the steel steps came into the ring and came into play right away. Brock German suplex Roman off it. Roman was tossing steel from the set before taking more suplexes at ringside. The Beast took out tables and Roman put him through one or two of them before hitting a big spear in the ring. Reigns then was sent outside of the ring before Lesnar tossed him into the broken table. The challenger got his tractor but then got out of it and beat Reigns down with a piece of table. The Beast loaded Reigns on the front of the tractor before dumping him into the ring like lumber. Reigns still got up and took a bunch of suplexes before Roman got up once more before Brock got an F5. Roman then refused to stay down and countered an F5 with a guillotine. Lesnar reversed it into his own guillotine before using the tractor to lift the entire ring, sending Roman outside. Oh god. The ring was mangled but Roman was still on his feet. The Usos showed up and beat Lesnar down but inevitably got destroyed with suplexes. Heyman was yelling at ringside and got an F5 through a table by Brock before Roman took him down with a spear. Theory came out and smacked Reigns with a briefcase, but Brock wiped him out before he could cash in. The Usos took Brock out with a double super kicks before Reigns hit a spear. Reigns then beat Lesnar with the title belt before he and the Usos buried Lesnar in a mountain of ringside debris, and the Tribal Chief got the win. Lesnar crawled out of the wreckage, and the Bloodline made their way out as SummerSlam went off the air. And this was just absolutely brilliant, far beyond my expectations. Probably gets a 9 out of 10 from me. Got Theory down easily. All the other distractions that were inevitably going to come, and then the fucking tractor, it was pretty funny, and in the whole, just a really good match, proper brutal stuff, and I think that should be the last match between Reigns and Lesnar, but if it did, it went out in a very entertaining way. Really great stuff. 9 out of 10. Overall, SummerSlam gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I was debating between whether we're giving it a 7 or an 8 out of 10. For me, there were just a few too many kind of low points throughout the show to give it an 8 out of 10, but on the whole, it was probably a high 7 out of 10. Really good show. The main event was just bloody class, as I was just saying. Bayley's back, Io Shirai, Dakota Kai on the main roster, great stuff, and on the whole, just some really fun match in there, so great show. But anyway guys, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and also comment down below, follow and subscribe me for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to the channel screen, and that'll be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace!